Wendeto, let's talk about something else, the GMO debate. And you're not necessarily experts on this, but legislators will have a say at some point. Which direction should the country take? Is this a good direction in your view?
I think on the GMO debate, we should be guided by science. I'm told today, Trevor, and you know, in this country, we are importing about 40% of our food. Today, most likely the favorite cereal that you had before you came to this show from maybe an international brand is very, very likely from GMO wheat. So Kenyans, I believe we are already consuming, especially the fact that now we are a big net importer of food. We are possibly already, or actually we are very likely to be consuming GMO foods. And GMO is not a new thing. Globally, this is being practiced in some of the advanced economies, and they have used this to basically boost their agriculture. And if I take you back, Trevor, one of the things that the president has kept on saying, and not just the president, but even I believe in it, is that the only way to lift millions of our people out of poverty is through increased agricultural productivity. And in this country, we tend to underestimate the importance of agriculture for economic growth. And I see a lot of talk on industrialization, on this and that. But if you read your history, almost all the advanced economies, including the Asian tigers like Taiwan, long before Taiwan became a superpower in manufacture of semiconductors, it was a superpower in growing mushrooms and rice and things like that. And one way to get the country going is by increased agricultural productivity. Now, GMO crops which are resistant to pesticides, resistant to drought, come in to answer some of the issues that we are really grappling with. Like now, we have the issue of climate change. In my constituency, Tetu, we are actually bearing the brunt of climate change issues. I think for 4 seasons now, we've not had adequate rainfall. Our land holding is small, which then means you find people who are previously very, very comfortable as far as food is concerned, do not have food. When I was doing my campaign, Trevor, I used to ask a very common question to my people. And I would tell them, and maybe there will be 300 people in a meeting, and I would tell them, anyone who has a granary in their homestead, please raise up your hand. And I would see 2 or 3 hands. Then I would qualify the question further. Anyone who has a granary which has maize, beans, potatoes, pumpkins, the things that when we were growing up would be in abundance, please raise up your hand. And I'll see no hands, which tells you that this whole thing of climate change is actually a very, very serious issue. Our people no longer have food. So if we can give them drought-resistant seeds, maize and beans and potatoes, and disease-resistant seeds as well, then we begin to improve agricultural productivity. And when we improve agricultural productivity, today, let's assume we have, say, 10 million farming households in the country. If each household just increases their maize production by 2 bags, only 2 bags, you have 20 million extra bags of maize. That is all the maize that we are importing. So we close the maize importation chapter. We do the same for wheat. We do the same for rice. We do the same for beans and potatoes and things like that. So while I submit myself to be guided by science, I think in principle, anything that helps us to improve agricultural productivity, whether you want to call it GMO or whatever other technology, I believe is very much welcome.
Yeah, that's what are your thoughts? And you're not necessarily a scientist, I know that, of course, sure, but is the government taking the right direction?
We cannot actually weigh on this. Number one, have we exhausted our arable land that we have to now go the GMO way? Have we exhausted everything, the productivity of this country, for us to go that direction? Okay, those are some of the questions that are now coming in. What I believe is that we still have a lot of agricultural activities that we can still pursue as a country before we go the GMO way. And the farmer, the local farmer, as you speak, is not fully empowered to give their total output First, we needed to empower our own farmers, number one, so that we still stick to what we are used to before we go to GMO. I read and know that GMO, as they say, have a lot of effects out here. We have cancers of today, and definitely, we, like Wandeto is saying, Honorable Wandeto is saying, we're already consuming GMOs anyway. You understand? And that is why we have all these diseases coming up each and every single day, these chronic diseases that we are not even, you sometimes don't even know what you're going through. So I would really still have a lot of questions around GMO. And if we've really exhausted our agricultural activities that are deceived from bringing in GMOs. But then again, if it's something that will keep us going, chakula, watu wanataka chakula hapa nje. If it will increase our food productivity out here, then why not? But first, let's consider exhausting all all necessary means before we go the GMO way.
Yeah.
Yes.